Is SEO worth it anymore? Honest answer, no. Not the way most people do it. The old way of doing SEO is finished, and the data actually proves it. So 68% of Google searches in the US now end without a single click. And if you think about that, that's 2 out of every 3 searches. Nobody clicks anything. The answer just appears at the top and people leave. So if your entire SEO plan is rank number 1 and wait for the click, you're playing a game that mostly stopped helping you a long time ago. But here's the other half of the answer. The new way of doing SEO got 27,000 free clicks across 5 of my websites in 90 days. Actually, on one single website, we got 27,800 clicks from AI SEO, and the website's trajectory in terms of SEO is growing nicely. I didn't write a single article by hand on this. I've never even logged into this website, so SEO isn't finished, but the old version is. And by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what changed, the real numbers behind it, and also like actual case studies. So research backed behind what's going on in SEO, how it's changing. Stick around because there's one number about AI visitors that completely flips how you should think about traffic. It's actually the most underrated stat in all of marketing right now. So let's start with why old SEO has stopped working, because once you see it, everything else makes sense. So for 20 years, SEO had one job: be the best answer on Google. So marketers did exactly what Google asked. They answered questions better than anyone. They covered every single angle, and they got so good at it that Google ended up with clean, perfect answers to almost everything. And that could be like lyrics, or it could be weather, it could be recipes, how-to guides. And once the answers were that good, Google stopped needing to sending you to the Vista because it could just read the answer out loud. Here's an example. So if you look at this keyword, you can see that it just reads the answer out loud based on the content we've created. And so that's what AI views are. Google just reading the internet's homework back to people before they ever click. And they're not a small feature anymore. Bright Edge now tracks AI overviews showing up on 48% of queries across the industries it monitors. So up 58% in a single year. In some topics, like for example education, they trigger on roughly 80% of searches. So half of Google now answers before you get a chance to. Now let me run you through the numbers, because this is where it gets real, my friends. And these aren't my numbers, by the way. These are some of the biggest studies published over the last year, and together they tell one clear story. So example 1, Pew Research. They tracked 900 real people making almost 69,000 real Google searches. When an AI summary appeared, Google saw that people clicked a result just 8% of the time, without one 15%. So the AI answer roughly cuts your click in half, and it gets worse. People clicked a source cited inside the AI summary itself just 1% of the time, 1%. Example number 2, Ahrefs. They studied 300,000 keywords using real Search Console data, and they found that when an AI overview shows up, the click-through rate for the number 1 result drops by 58%. And here's the scary part about the speed of this. When they ran the same study back in April 2025, the drop was 34.5%. So in about 8 months, the damage went from a third of your clicks to more than half. The trend line only points one single way. Example number 3, SparkToro and SimilarWeb, the big one. In the first 4 months of 2026, 68% of US Google searches have ended without a click. In 2024, it was 60.45%. So that jump is the fastest 2-year move since they started measuring. And when you break it down by search type, it tells you exactly where the pain is. Informational searches, the how-to stuff most blogs are built on, end without a click 74% of the time. But buy-in type searches, only 31% end without a click. So the question gets eaten by AI, but people with buying intent still click. You want to remember that because it matters a lot later. Example number 4, and this one shows how fast people's habits are moving. ChatGPT passed 900 million weekly active users as of OpenAI's February 2026 update, handling around 2.5 billion prompts every single day. And Google's AI mode, the full chat version of Google, passed 1 billion monthly users, announced at Google I/O 2026. On top of that, 37% of consumers now say they start their searches with an AI tool instead of a normal search engine. More than a third of your future customers open an AI first, not Google, an AI. So if you put those 4 together, AI answers now cover half of Google. They cut clicks in half where they appear, 2/3 of searches end with no click at all, and 1 billion people are asking AI tools directly instead. That's what's changed. That's why is SEO worth it is even a question. And here's the fifth number, the one that should actually give you a bit of. So, Sear Interactive studied 53 brands, 5.47 million queries, and 2.43 billion impressions. And they found the click didn't disappear. It moved. Brands cited inside the AI answer earn about 35% more clicks than brands sitting right below without a citation. So, just to recap, brands cited inside the AI answer earn about 35% more clicks than brands sitting right below without citation. Google's AI overviews aren't just reducing clicks, they're redistributing them, sending more traffic to the sites they cite and far less to the ones they don't. So the game was like, never is SEO worth it. The real question is, how do you become the name that AI trusts enough to repeat? Because whoever gets named gets everything now, and whoever doesn't gets skipped, sadly. And that's exactly what the rest of this video shows you. I call this the everywhere engine. And I've tested it across 5 different websites, subreddit, video content. And I'm going to walk you through every single piece. The 5-site flywheel, the free Google data trick that answers you your keywords nobody else can see, and the one factor that now matters more than your own website. And that last one comes from a study of 82 ranking factors, and the answer at number 2 shocked me. Quick pause first. Everything I'm about to show you is broken down step by step inside our free SEO course. Link in the description. You get all our best AI SEO trainings, including topical map trainings, how we used to plan content, our keyword research methods, content frameworks to keep quality high, free. And if you'd rather have a free SEO strategy session, the course actually comes with that too. Link in the comments description. Now, let's build the engine step by step. So piece number 1, the 5-site flywheel. So instead of one website publishing one article and hoping, you run 5 small websites. This is just what I'm doing. I'm not recommending it. I'm just showing you what actually works for me based on this one, this website, this website, this one, and this one. You can see the trajectory of each website. Traffic is going up nicely. If we check out AI search, it's also going up nicely. This is something I've personally tested. It works for me. Might not work for you. But let's keep going through. So basically, one keyword goes in, one real case study goes in. The AI writes 5 different articles, different titles, different angles, different examples, and they go out across all 5 sites the same day. Every article links to the others where it makes sense, and Google gets pinged the same hour with indexceptional as the API. So it comes and looks straight away. That means it's just more likely to get indexed by Google faster. A flywheel is a heavy wheel that's hard to get moving. But every push adds to the last one, and eventually it spins on its own. That's exactly what's happening here. Every article creates fresh impression data. That data reveals new keywords. Those keywords feed the next spin. So if you compare that to the old way, one website, one article a day if you're fast, guessing keywords from a tool that shows everyone the same numbers, then waiting months for Google to maybe notice, the gap between these two approaches is the whole point of this video. Piece number 2, the fuel. So your own Google Search Console data. A Search Console is Google's free tool that shows you every keyword your site appears for. Most people don't really open it and don't understand it, but it's the only keyword tool on earth showing data nobody else can see because it's yours. And here's something most people missed. In June 2026, Google added a dedicated AI performance tracker. So you get reports in Search Console. This only shows your impressions. It doesn't show like what you're actually ranking for. But Google itself is now telling you how visible you are inside AI answers for free. And almost nobody checks it. There are 2 patterns to hunt for in there. So first, gaps. One of my websites, for example, was showing for AI SEO course, 650 impressions, position 21, 0 clicks. But there was no proper page for it. So Google was basically saying, like, give me a real page and I'll rank it. So you build the page. And the second option is leaks. So I'll give you an example. Another keyword had over 14,000 impressions at position 8, but less than 1% of people clicked. The page ranked fine. The title and the content just didn't earn the click. Totally different fix. You rewrite and improve the page instead of building a new one. Your own data tells you which situation you're in and what to do next. So there's no guessing. And this is how the engine finds its next target every single day. Piece number 3, quality control. And let's be honest about something. Google isn't against AI content. Google is against bad AI content. There's a difference. And it's a difference between ranking and getting ignored. The way you avoid bad AI content is a written set of rules the AI follows every single time it writes. Mine is 13 steps. Add real case studies as a source of truth. So every fact comes from something that actually happened. I have 5 unique articles per keyword, never duplicates. Titles are under about 60 characters written to earn the click, a relevant case study near the top of every page, a clear call to action, and a self-improvement step at the end so the file gets sharper every time it runs. Here's why that file matters. Anyone can ask an AI to write one blog post, but the rules file means article number 400 follows every rule as perfectly as article number 1. You and me, we'd forget the rules by like article 12. That's just being a human. The system doesn't forget. And the ingredient that makes the content actually good is your own experience. Real tests you've run, real case studies, real results, good and bad, real client work. That's called information gain, adding something to the internet that wasn't there before. Nobody can copy it because it only happened to you. And if you can describe your own work, you can feed this engine. That's the entire skill requirement. Now, piece number 4, the one that changes how you think about everything. Your own website matters less than what the rest of the internet says about you. MP Digital, for example, studied 82 different factors that influence whether ChatGPT recommends a brand. Number 1 was relevance. Fine, expected. But number 2, ranking above your own site's authority, was brand mentions across the rest of the web. What other people say about you moves the AI more than what you say about yourself. For 20 years, SEO was about pages you control. Now the thing deciding your fate lives on pages you don't. So, for example, you couldn't edit a Reddit thread. You can't rewrite someone else's review. You can only become the kind of brand the internet mentions in the right places next to the right topics, which is exactly why the Everywhere engine publishes beyond your own website. So we create a subreddit and post our content there. In the last 30 days, I actually pulled over 244,000 views. You can see the average performance over time for our subreddit. That's not all from SEO, but that's from like the platform as well. And when the AI engines crawl the web, they see our brand mentioned next to our key terms on Reddit, on our 5 websites, on our social media, everywhere. So several sites keep connecting your name to the topic and the AI learns the connection. Then it starts recommending you inside its answers. Your content network literally teaches the AI who you are. Almost nobody is playing this game yet. And there's proof that it actually works. Our sites now rank inside Google AI overviews, sometimes multiple times inside a single answer. We rank in AI mode, we rank in regular Google, same content, same engine, showing up everywhere. The question gets asked. And there's one more study that should get the small businesses watching this excited. So MP Digital asked 100 content marketers what actually gets you cited by AI. The top answer by a huge margin was freshness, keeping content current. 91% said that. Being an old, established, authoritative source comes last at 17%. So the AI doesn't care how big a brand used to be, it cares how recently they mattered. A small, sharp brand that keeps showing up and stays current can get quoted right over a sleepy giant coasting on an old reputation. 10 years ago, you couldn't really outrank the big sites, no matter what you did. Now the door is wide open, and most of the giants haven't noticed. And now the number I promised you at the start. So the one that flips how you should think about traffic entirely. Everyone panics about losing clicks. Almost nobody looks at the quality of the clicks that remain. So here's what the research found about visitors who arrive from AI answers. Adobe answered and analyzed more than 1 trillion visits to US retail sites and found AI-driven traffic converted 42% better than non-AI traffic, with those shoppers spending 48% more time on product pages. Ahrefs reported that AI search referrals were just 0.5% of their total sessions, but generated 12.1% of all their signups. A study of 312 companies, these were B2B companies, found AI-referred visitors converting at 14.2% versus 2.8% from Google Organic, roughly 5 times higher. An SE ranking found AI visitors spend 68% more time on your site. Why? Because the AI already did the comparing for them. Microsoft Clarity describes it as AI working like a pre-qualification layer. It filters out the casual browsers before they ever reach your site. So the people who do arrive carry much more and higher intent. So when someone lands on your site from Google search, they might be like one of 10 tabs they opened. When someone lands on your site because an AI recommended you by name, they've already half decided. So yes, you get fewer visitors, but in this new world, each one is worth far more. Losing junk traffic and gaining better quality traffic isn't a loss. Most people just never look past the traffic line to see it. Now, let me deal with the 3 thoughts probably running through your head right now. Number 1, Google doesn't rank AI content. We have nearly 1,500 AI written posts across these websites, and the traffic has grown the whole way through. One site actually went from 0 to 325 clicks at its peak and keeps climbing. Another one went from over 2 clicks a day to over 60, and Google penalizes like lazy AI content and rewards useful content, and it genuinely doesn't care who typed it. Here's the proof. Google now shows AI generated answers above every human result on the page on nearly half of all searches. So Google made its position on AI content pretty clear when it did that. Now, thought number 2 might be, I'm not technical enough for this. Honest truth, I can't even log into these websites. So they're not on WordPress, there's no plugins, there's no dashboard. The agent just syncs directly with the API on Netlify, which means it handles the publishing, the formatting, the indexing. My only job is supplying a keyword and a real example from my own work. If you can describe what you do for your customers, you meet the technical bar. And some people say, well, this takes too long. So if you look at the trajectory of these websites, that's a fair point. One of my sites, for example, sat like completely flat from January to April, publishing constantly 30 to 60 clicks a week, chart doing nothing. So if you've tried SEO, you know that feeling. Like every week, a little voice asks you, why are you bothering? And then it actually went from 81 clicks a week to 293 to 405, straight up. Completely new sites, they sit flat whilst Google learns to trust them. So it's completely normal and precisely where most people quit. Like 10 posts in, nothing back, they walk away. But the ones who quit never find out the curve that was like 3 weeks ahead of them. So when the system runs it instead of you, the flat months don't even matter. Like it doesn't matter if you don't rank for a few months because the system is running in the background. You've got Claude, or you've got Codex, or you've got your other AI handling this for you. So what do you actually do with all this? I would start with what you know. Write down 3 to 5 real results from your business, a client that helped you. It could be a test you ran, it could be a before and after. These become the case studies that make your content impossible to sound like AI fluff. You can open up Google Search Console, check the new AI performance report to see if you're showing up in the AI tool. Then you can hunt the gaps, keywords getting impressions so no page built for them, and the leaks. So for example, pages ranking fine, but nobody clicking. So you want to fix the leaks first. They're the fastest wins because Google already trusts these pages. Then set a rhythm. So for example, 1 keyword a day, 30 keywords a month, compounding with fresh content going out daily. That's the 91% freshness factor working for you, whilst the big established players sit on the 17%. And publish your own site. So you want to be publishing on your own site, answering questions in communities where your customers hang out. That could be Reddit, that could be school, it could be LinkedIn, where if you do that consistently, typically you will start ranking. And if you want a free SEO course on how to do all this, link in the comments and description. And you can also book in a free SEO strategy session once you sign up. So it's pretty cool and it's free and you might as well check it out. It's got all my best trainings on SEO in there. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.